Going over my history. I've been posting here for a while, so I thought I'd just add what happened to me so that there's some context to what I wrote. Bear with me, it's been a while since I lived it and I've chugged a bunch of caffeine because my 3-year-old was up all night with a pretty wicked cold. First ex was a compulsive liar who, after we had been together 2 years, posted wedding photos of her and a dude she met after me. That one was fun. Oddly enough, that one didn't hurt, left me with no lingering anything other than a sense of humor because come on. The one that hurts was my ex after her. We met online, got on real well, and I moved 1,500 miles from home to be with her. My stuff was fresh off the truck when I was with her on her bed, and we were spooning while watching the TV. She was texting and I looked at it, she was texting the AP. He couldn't wait to introduce her to his parents, and she couldn't wait for it either. Strange thing to do and say when I'm right there, but okay. When I went to leave to go back to my apartment, I told her what I saw. She blew up. Yelling, shouting, all this nonsense about how dare I do such a thing, blah blah blah. I go home, don't sleep, go to her parents' house first thing in the morning, where we talk. She's still being a complete and utter piece of trash, so her dad takes her to another room for a few minutes. When she comes out, it's all tears, apologies, and 1,000 hollow words. She swore to me that she cut him off, she wouldn't see him, all this nonsense. The fun bit? They were classmates in a nursing program, so they spent all day together. I couldn't verify what they were and weren't doing. Note, this is why you'll see so many posts about them learning to be better at hiding it. She hid it well. A little while after it, she told me that at school he tried to kiss her and that she rebuffed his advances. Okay, you were supposed to not be near him, whatever. Then the anger from her started to really get wild. Another classmate from school wanted to fight her. Turns out AP and this classmate got it on and was jealous of my ex, and she was furious that I wasn't doing anything about it. This is the first I was hearing about it. I have no idea who this lady is, and her school was about an hour away from where we lived. It got worse and worse and worse. Also, she got really scared about getting pregnant. Carried a bunch of pregnancy tests with her. Sat me down a lot to tell me she might be pregnant. She had me drop her off at Planned Parenthood once for a checkup that took a few hours since she had no insurance, and apparently they're good for that. Can't verify if it was on the up and up, but I remember getting angry because I've never waited that long for a doctor's appointment. Another fun bit was that she got placed at a retirement home a little drive from us, so she, obviously, had to stay at her brother's house once a week. Don't think she was doing that. Her brother lived one city over from AP. Gonna add, the AP looks eerily like me. He looks the way I'd look if I had never started lifting. That's a fun thing to think about. That she clearly has a type and still managed to affair down. Then November hit. She asked me to go on a drive and she told me she was thinking of dropping out of school. The one she met the AP at. I don't know with 100% certainty what the cause was, but I do believe that he gave her an ultimatum between us and that's why she left. Fine by me, I thought. I didn't know that she was obviously still seeing him. She was going to return to the school I was attending, we'd see each other more often. Cool beans. Then time moves on and honestly I can't really remember anything suspicious going on. However, if you've made it this far, you've seen clearly I'm too trusting. She again dropped out of school, this time to work. Maybe something happened. Her behavior throughout this whole period got markedly worse. She was drinking often. Maybe guilt from the affair, maybe she started a new one, I have absolutely no idea. We finally moved back to my hometown. I'm pretty confident that she reaches out to her AP again this time. Oh, I just remembered that she flew back to her town for a few days at this point to visit her sister for her birthday. Oh my god, Thug Lufio, you stupid son of a gun. Okay, so now something makes a little more sense. Her behavior leading up to the trip and afterward derails. Lots of hostilities, lots of screaming, telling me that she's faking in bed and or thinking of other guys. And after years of this, I'm beaten down. I had zero self-esteem. She drained me of my life, my soul, my everything. She tells me she's going back. Stupid me decides to join her. And then it gets worse. She gets a job working with her brother, at a company just outside of town. I'm very confident that she's meeting the AP or someone else at this time. For me, the tipping point was that she wasn't answering her phone one night, Coming home several hours after her shift at work because allegedly the custodial staff didn't show up. Right. Okay. At this point I'm getting hit, screamed at for any slight real or imagined. She's telling me that our kids aren't going to be raised knowing anything of my culture. Dad is an immigrant, trying to make me sleep on the sofa, dead bedroom for about 6 months at this point, finding mysterious stains in my car, and then she pulls this? This is when it really clicks that I don't need to be treated like this. I finally decide to grow a spine and tell her I'm done. It was a week after Valentine's Day that I left, I believe. Had my brother fly up to help me drive down. Lots of messages from her oscillating from please come back, I'll do anything, to just venom. I didn't do NC, so I got to hear about her bringing men to the apartment we shared and nailing her on the bed we used to sleep on. Then her meeting a guy and how she was in love with him. This was maybe 2 months after I left. Then I remember I was playing Civ 5 and got a text message. It was her. She had just turned 8 weeks pregnant. Oh dang, 8 weeks before that was my birthday. Whatever, we weren't together anymore. She wanted me to hear it from her before she posted it on social media. Neato. I only found out who the dad was like 2 months after. It was the AP. No idea about the guy she was apparently in love with, but RIP to him because her declarations of love and then getting knocked up by the AP were incredibly close together. Her and the AP are still together. Married. They have 2 kids together. She's in the town. She would cry to me over her fear of being stuck there forever. I remember she was once crying about how she was afraid that, when I went back to my parents' house, I would revert back to who I used to be. This is a really funny statement because I'm still someone who has never cheated, and I grew so much after I cut her out of my life. Honestly, it's pretty remarkable how much better my life became after she was no longer in it. After a few years, lots of exciting and new experiences, I met my wife. Glorious woman. Stunning. A heart of gold. A remarkable wife, and a few years ago she became a wonderful mother. Had I stayed, I never would have met my wife, had my kids, started this company that gives me a lot of freedom, and we're closing on our new house next week. My ex hated the idea of me doing anything or displaying ambition. My wife cheers me on continuously. I remember the joy in my ex's voice when she said how happy she was that I gave up on my dream of going to law school. My wife encouraged me to go and cheered me on every step of the way until I dropped out because it turns out I really hated it. My ex hated the idea of leaving the country. My wife and I honeymooned outside the US and cruised a lot. I won. Don't know if there's a polite way to say it, but I really did. My life is so much better than it was then that it's incredible to think about how far I've come. I've made so many great new memories, met great new people, and my life really has turned around in ways I never thought possible. To wrap this up, I suppose things aren't all too great for them because my ex, since she reached out a year ago to I guess try and make amends with me, apologizing for all the things she said and did, and to tell me that there's a place in her heart for me because I was her first love. Oh well, sucks to suck, am I right? Happy to hear that you are now thriving. It does indeed suck to suck. If you had posted your story when you were still with your crazy cheating ex, asking us whether we thought she was cheating, how you could convince her to pick you, and what you could do to somehow convince yourself that you could work things out, folks here would have been beating up on you pretty hard. And I would have thought to myself that you needed to hear it. But, I am very glad to hear your story now. You really should be proud of yourself. Well played, my friend. You won the long game. Congratulations, and best wishes.